Welcome to the Unoriginal Podcast,
I'm Sabrina,
and I'm Caleb.
and today we're talking about.
Yes,
Okay,
meeting new people.
I'm so curious. What inspired this topic?
Um, I was watching. Okay, so I was trying to find something on YouTube to watch. I kept refreshing my recommended, and then this video came up of this guy in a university, and literally he just had a tripod on like a walking path, and he was standing there, and whoever like walked past, he like tried to start a conversation and just like talk
Uh,
to them like about literally anything, just making conversation. It wasn't like anything about finding a girl to talk to or
yeah,
like anything like it was just general like talking to people. I was like, damn, that's kind of cool.
like a
Talk
social
about it.
experiment.
Pretty much, yeah. And like after each interaction, he'd like break it down. He'd come to the camera really close and like break it down and talk about like like what he was thinking while he was talking to them and how the conversation went and stuff like that. And
Oh,
you could see like from the start of the video to the end, like how much I guess less friction there was between like his conversation with other people, and how easy like the stuff started to flow. Like you see in real time, like him gaining social skills. It was actually quite interesting. So I was like, I think we should talk about this
what
on the
fascinating
podcast.
insight into your YouTube feed.
Yeah. The thing is, that's not a typical video in my recommended. But then
Yeah.
after I watched that video, like in its entirety, they started recommending more like that type of video of like social skills and how to talk to women and stuff. Like, okay, I don't really like this kind of video, so. But now my YouTube feed is back to normal, so I don't see those videos anymore. Just that one caught my eye. I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Okay.
What do you think about the topic?
Yeah, I when you first brought it up, I thought it could be very fun to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Have it as a sort of like meeting new people slash making friends um topic. I don't know, I feel like there's stuff there that would be interesting to discuss. So, what did you find out about the importance of all
Meeting
of
new
this?
people.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very interesting that this is such a big thing now in our generation, which I don't think it was in generations before. Like
Okay.
people having loneliness problems or
Right.
called
Because they were
loneliness
just social
epidemic.
before.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe COVID has a part to doing it, but I feel like it was starting before COVID.
Yeah.
I read this thing where it was like the loneliness problem is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh.
How does that even correlate? But I mean, it just goes to pronounce like I guess how important it is to have people around you.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, 15 a day.
That's
I don't think I know
crazy.
anybody that does 15 a day.
Damn.
But
That's crazy. Yeah, when you first said that, the immediate thing I thought of was how the city's designed.
mm-hmm,
And I think that goes a little bit towards why we as people have evolved to um, become a little more isolated, right?
mm-hmm,
I mean, in South Africa, it's very much a car-centric country, and if
mm-hmm,
you're driving
mm-hmm,
everywhere, you're not necessarily walking in the streets, and
mm-hmm,
just making eye contact and stuff like that. This is
mm-hmm.
stuff that your parent has to teach you when you were young. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've ever had that, but my mom used to like drill us like with every stranger that you meet, you have to, well, that every guest that comes into the house or everyone at her office,
Yeah.
you have to say hi. You have to address them in a
Um,
polite way. And you have to look them in the eye.
okay, I didn't
Stuff
teach
like
me
that.
that. Also, when you said stranger, I was like, well, your parents were teaching you to talk to strangers.
No, gosh, no,
I don't know about
no,
that.
just like
Um,
being polite.
and I'm probably when I was there, I just don't remember. But I don't think that was like a big thing. I mean, I think the thing about the city's design is is interesting, but I feel like it's also like the I mean everything can be tied to social media, but I do think
Mm,
that's an important thing in this situation where like outside of school and work, like people would often have like other things to do like socially, like either
yeah,
going to the park or this that and the third. But now it's like go online, scroll through TikTok. That's like people's place to go now
yeah,
outside of school and work.
true.
So
Like on the metro, everyone's just on
yeah.
their phone. Mm,
So now you have to. It's kind of like just facilitating meeting people online, and it is easier to meet people online. But obviously there are downsides to using the internet, where
yeah.
like there's studies that show that yeah you do have more social isolation. I mean if you're seeing people do things that you want to do or you're seeing friends go out on things that you weren't invited to, it's more easy for you to just like crawl into your shell. Yeah.
Mm. I also think it's probably a big culture thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like how You know, in Sweden, it's a little bit strange if you look at someone that you're crossing in the street, and make eye contact and smile and possibly say hello, whereas it's considered very friendly in, you know, other situations, other places.
Mm.
So that's probably been a little more exasperated as time passes. And yeah, well, I don't know how they might have dealt with the whole social dynamics before, though.
Mm. I just think globally, also in general, like people are moving a lot more. Like you traveled all the way from South Africa to here for university. I traveled across the world my whole life. I
Yeah.
feel like people move a lot more for school, for work, and so like you're constantly like upping and leaving wherever you've been established. And I mean, if you do that enough times, it becomes harder to like make friends each time that you go to a new place. You know?
It makes it more dire to make
Yeah,
friends each place that you go
yeah,
as well.
yeah. So it is I feel like it is very what's the word? Crucial life skill to be able to make friends.
Yeah.
Um, especially in this ever evolving world that we live in. Um, how do you make friends? Let's go with
Before that, you had
that.
asked me this question, on like in line with this topic a while ago. How often do you meet new people,
um,
make friends?
yeah. How often do you talk to people? Like not even like in trying to make friends, but like talk to people that you don't know. Like talk
Mm-hmm.
to strangers. I feel like if you
Are
really
we
think about it.
including interactions like
No, not at
shopping and
the what the grocery store. Would you
yeah?
say? Maybe that counts as half.
Okay.
Because okay, to be honest, I don't even talk at the grocery store. Like, yep, thank you, no receipt. But you know,
Yeah.
that's how everyone likes to keep contact minimal. I feel like at the grocery store. That's why self checkout is a thing now. It's so popular. Is that yeah? As much you go out of your way to avoid interaction
Mhm.
as much possible. I feel like that's a big thing that happened after COVID. I feel like everyone lost the social skills and like a lot of people just never got it back and like got used to like living on their own because for a lot of people like they were fine with it like unless you were affected by the pandemic directly a lot of people were like yeah stay at home order in like I can get used to this but about meeting or talking to people I would say rarely I think this goes for a lot of people like how often would you just be at a place and like say hi to someone or like just engage conversation for me a lot of the time it's either at the gym
Yeah.
or at football, like, to someone say, "Oh, you look like this one player," like, "All right," and then we like talk for like 5 minutes or whatever, or I'd ask someone to use the machine or whatever, and then we talk for 5 minutes about like, yeah, 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 this is how you do it, this is how you do it, or at football we talk about football, you know. But generally, outside of those things, I wouldn't say I talk to people that I don't know, like at all.
Yeah, outside of like candid conversations, you know, someone asking me the directions or something like that, I really haven't been meeting that many new people,
Mm.
especially as of late as summer has started.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think it's there's this theory of third places. You introduced me to it about like
Mm.
how outside of school and work,
Mm-hmm.
like you need like a third place where you
Yeah.
can socialize. And the third place is pretty much just an infrastructure that facilitates social interaction, right?
Right.
And like we said, now it's becoming social media and there are a lot of harms to that where like it's just a bunch of social comparisons and you not feeling secure in yourself. You're seeing other people do this and third. And so that lack of social third places in the real world, I think, also like contributes to the thing. Because my third place, I would say, is when on Sundays when I play football.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I meet a lot of people that I know outside of school and uni. And I feel like what was a really good example was in sitcoms like How I Met Your Mother. You know how they're always at the bar.
Yeah.
That was the third place.
Yeah.
You know, like in Community, how they're always at the library. That was the third place. But a lot of people like because I think that's how they met Ted right at the
Yeah.
bar, or how they all became friends was meeting at the bar. I think Ted knew what's his name, I forget the tall guy
Marshall.
Marshall from like before,
From
and then they
college.
met
Yeah.
Barney at the bar at Community. I think they all one time were at the library together, and
They
then they
all met
became
at
like a huh
uni. Yeah, at
yeah at
college.
uni yeah together yeah.
But that's the thing. Okay, what I know of third places, because someone else introduced me this concept, is that it has to be apart from your main places, which tends to be your home and your place of work. For us, probably our place of schooling, right? Because your home is people that you'll see very often and whatnot. So it's
Mhm.
easy to build a connection there. You have
Mhm.
that common ground.
Mhm.
Your workplace is same thing. You've got the common ground of like you're all studying and you technically
Mhm.
have to be there, which is why it makes third place so important
Yeah.
because anyone that you meet there, you create common ground not by just being there, but by finding something
Mhm.
that you guys can all relate to or
Mhm.
whatnot that makes you like each other on a different level. So I
Mhm.
think How I Met Your Mother and Community sort of blurs those lines because Community, it's at their college
Mhm.
where they become friends. So it's essentially making friends at your school.
Mhm.
And How I Met Your Mother, Ted initially was friends with Lily and Marshall because they all went to the same
Yeah,
college
school.
together,
Yeah.
yeah. And it blurs the lines, and that's why they're like, it's
But then
important
they
to
met
have.
Barney there. They met Robin
Yeah,
there.
but I think part of this third places things is how crucial it is to have that completely separate. So even if you go out with your uni friends to a new experience, that's still not breaking out of your third place. And they're like, this third place is extremely, extremely important because that's where you learn how to make new friends, meet new people, uh, in an entirely new way. Yeah.
Okay. That's a very strict definition. I mean, I understand, but I feel like easing into that kind of thing, maybe you will need like some sort of gradient or
Yeah.
transition.
But I
Like,
feel like that's the test of how well you're doing.
yeah, but I
Is
mean, you
you're
don't know. I
yeah.
get what you mean. But I read this thing where it was, you don't make new friends; they find you. What do you think about that?
Mm, I get that. I mean, one of the questions I wanted to ask you was, uh, do you believe that every new person you meet can teach you something valuable, or do you think that the next person you meet could be someone very important in your life? Because I
These are two
think
different questions.
I know. Okay, let's look at the second one, where it's like the idea that at some point this person that you meet will become your friend. So I do kind of feel like that's like your friend finding you instead of you reaching out and becoming friends, right?
But
You just
couldn't the other person see it that way as well?
yeah, I think it works. Do you believe it?
What?
That your
Okay,
friends find you? That you what is it's
I
sort of
feel
like
like you.
attracting people, right? I
Yeah, but you still
guess.
need to. I get what you mean as in they find you because you still need to put yourself out there. Like you're sending an echolocation,
Mm.
whatever, out into the world, and then whoever feels need to reciprocate that will then find you, and you guys will become friends or whatever. But I still think you need to put in some. You can't just be there and someone will
Yeah.
find you. You need to like actively like engage with everybody you meet, and eventually one of them will like reciprocate to the same wavelength that you are, and then you guys become best friends forever.
Do you ever wonder that though when you're meeting someone new that
It's not something that's at
this
the forefront
person?
of my mind. Like
Yeah.
this person could be like my best friend. No, I'm not thinking that. I'm just more so just like being nice, being
Yeah.
a human being.
Do you know when I was younger, I was obsessed with having this idea of having a best friend,
Mm.
and with every single, and specifically a girl, because I'm a girl.
Yeah, yeah,
Every single person I met that I thought I would have some chemistry with, the back of my mind was just always this line of, "Oh, I wonder if this person will
will
be
be
like
hard.
my best friend, will be my soulmate of best friends."
Mm,
And that carried through for many, many years, up till I was maybe 16, I think. Yeah.
I don't think I ever liked the idea of a best friend. I don't know why, but it just for me it always just it made me feel like tied down to one thing. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It sounds like commitment.
It's not. It's not even that because in sixth grade, um, I remember like I got really close to this one because we both had a PS Vita and like I'd go to his
Oh,
house
what?
every. It's like a PlayStation, but
Okay.
like the portable one, but with a touchscreen.
Oh,
People will know.
okay.
But
I think my brother had one.
yeah, and then I'd go to his house every Saturday, and then we became really close. And then in school, like people started associating us together as best friends, and like
Mm,
not that that creeped me out, but it was just like, oh, I don't know, I'm still friends with everybody, right? It
yeah,
just put me off a little bit. And
right.
then when I moved to China for the first time. He came to visit me. That was the craziest thing like
What?
ever happened.
You
He came all the way
visited?
from like Ghana to China. That's like a
What?
16-hour flight. But he came to visit for a week and like we did like everything. Like everything. He tried dumplings. We didn't go
That's
to like the touristy
crazy.
stuff, but we did like everything like kids would do. And we
Wow.
got bikes, we did everything. It was really fun. But then after like he left, like we didn't really like talk that much after that, and then like yeah, we just ended up not like I don't talk to him anymore.
Hmm.
Like here and there sometimes. And like I feel like ever since then I never really liked this idea of like having a best
Yeah.
friend. Like obviously I have people that I'm closer with than others, but never the idea of like this one person I'll go to for everything. I think I'm realizing the importance more now, but it's still like not something that I'm actively like best friend, you know.
I agree. I think based on the relationships I have now, different people have different functions and they serve those really well. And
Mm.
I think I just glorify the idea of one person encompassing all of this
Yeah.
as being, what I wanted, when that wasn't the case at all.
I think you do need that though, because I feel like inevitably all the close friends will like kind of falter away, and you kind of need that one best friend.
Mm.
'Cause I feel like, and I read this also that older people without friends are more likely to develop dementia and all these like old people
Yeah,
problems.
it's like linked to health. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
because I feel like yeah, once you have your partner and you get married, you kind of lose touch with a lot of your friends, and maybe except that one best friend. And if you don't have that, if unfortunately your partner dies or you guys separate, then it's like you're alone and you're like in your 50s or whatever, and then it's really hard to make friends, or maybe easier. Just go to a bingo night. I don't know, but yeah. So maybe you do need a best friend.
Yeah, I think these interactions are so crucial because they're so fundamentally embedded in us, like in our brains, and
Mm-hmm.
it affects our health and our well-being, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's kind of insane. You mentioned that you're just polite to everyone that you see, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question for you.
What?
Do you ever have like go-to conversation topics or characteristics or traits about yourself that you bring up when meeting a new person?
Like my go-to startup conversation.
Yeah. Like you said with your soccer friends,
Yeah.
you probably talk about soccer and that's
Yeah.
understandable. That's like very contextual. But what about other places?
Yeah. I mean, okay, because a lot of the time I'm meeting people through other people. I don't know if that like fully counts, but it's like, oh, where are you from? Um,
Mm,
what
that's
uni do you go to?
that's
I
so
mean,
common for
yeah,
me a lot now as well. When
it's just
everyone's
the
just like, "Where are
easy
you from?
stuff.
What do you
Yeah,
study?" Yeah.
I mean, it does get a little repetitive.
Mm.
What else do I say?
Because it gets repetitive, I always try to think of something interesting or
Yeah, but
different.
then people can. I mean, how different do you go?
Like I want to be really different,
Like,
except
what's your
it
favorite fruit?
yeah, something random. But
Oh,
it tends to creep people
yeah,
out.
I was
Like
about to say
people
that people are like,
like the
what? Yeah.
comfortable. Oh, what country are you from? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
But the thing is, I try to like go off of that into like something else, like because
Mm.
that's like the I guess getting a feel of the person, and then like if there's something more interesting to go into, you would. A lot of the time, you just get stuck there. It's like, oh, cool. So and it's like, um, but yeah, I feel like meeting people is because I've seen in real time like my friends or people that I would not maybe close friends, but like people that I would consider friends end up dropping out of uni because of they haven't found enough friends or
Oh
like they're
really?
being yeah. Two times it's happened. Like two of my friends like damn like
Wow.
not that we've gone out like maybe once or twice like with the most recent one. We went out to like to play. We went to a bar a couple times and then I invited him to my birthday party. And he was a first year, so I understood like where he was at because he also didn't have student housing, so he was living in like an apartment. So you're not a lot of people like you're gonna meet. So I'm trying to like involvement thing, but then like 2 weeks later, he just like, yeah, I'm going back to my country. I don't really like it here. I'm not really meeting friends, and it's unfortunate. So
It is kind of scary that way. If I think about it, it's also like the first week of uni. I went to the orientation thing, intro week, and that's where I made at least my first group of friends, and they stuck around because we're all new and we all want
yeah,
someone to latch onto. But had that not happened, I would have been probably pretty close to just being
Yeah,
a little bit lost and being kind of vulnerable in the first week and
yeah.
immediately not making friends for a while. It's a gradual process, whatever. I
Like
think it
everybody
was
had that
shaking me
like
up.
anticipation. Because remember,
Yeah.
like everyone signed up for like a buddy because they were
Yeah.
scared they weren't gonna make friends, and then I guess people were good enough to each other to become friends.
So what's your typical approach to meeting new people?
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, typical approach to meeting people. I said like going up to them.
Yeah, what do you
Things I don't really go up to people. Like
do?
I'm just like I wouldn't say I go up to people. More so like the situation arises we're in the same like predicament, and then like I'd be
Mhm.
like, oh
You relate.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm.
Like for example, if I'm standing next to this person and we're waiting for the metro and it gets canceled, and it gets canceled. I'm like what? Like yeah, and then like yeah, this
Oh
is
my
like
god, the
actually
weather.
no okay, not
Oh.
the but like just generally stuff like that. I'm trying to think who's someone that I've met outside of like normal places.
Do you know what I think I do?
What?
I think that I sometimes do things in my own time just purely for conversation starters or
Mm.
for public settings, like watching a trending TV show or something.
Mm.
Yeah, I will probably enjoy it to some extent, but starting to do it will probably just be for the purpose of if it comes up in
Oh,
conversation. This was a
I
lot more
I
prevalent in high
never
school,
do
I think.
that. I don't think I've ever done that.
Or yeah, having a baseline knowledge of soccer. So if I'm in a space where that is what I can use to bond with people,
Mm-hmm.
I can talk about it and having a baseline knowledge of what's going on in Formula One and these things that are kind of popular.
I think maybe the only one that I might have done it with was maybe F1. Because when I got here, it was a big thing. I think I started watching a little bit in my senior year of high school, but when I got here, I was like, okay, it's more serious here, so maybe I should start watching a little more. But outside of that, I don't think so. Things I only meet people like either like I'm out at a party or in a smoking area, and like someone will come ask for a lighter. I'm like, oh, I don't have a lighter, and then kind of the conversation will start there. Remember, I went to get what's it called, capsulons
Mm-hmm.
one time, and this guy just comes up to me and he's like, do you have a lighter? This was after a night out. Do you have a lighter? I was like, no. And then we just start talking. I don't remember like
That's
okay.
crazy.
Also,
That
like that was
doesn't
kind of
happen
like,
for me.
huh? That never happens.
That doesn't happen that
I
it
mean, we're
continues after the
different.
first.
Like I guess it's a different dynamic when you're a boy and when you're a girl.
I also think so.
Yeah, because we just. I mean, I'm a guy. He's a guy. We just started talking. It was like,
Yeah, I feel like I'm
yeah,
not that
he's
chill.
yeah. Yeah, we just started talking. He was telling me about his girlfriend and how he sells drugs. I think he was joking, but he was like he sells drugs. He has a gun in his pocket. I was like, okay, bro, whatever. But like, it was like a banter type of conversation, and I never knew. I probably won't see this guy ever again. But we just had that kind of conversation. I think it's good, like in those contexts, just practice your social skills. Not necessarily like for a reason, just like practice. Talking to people. Um, but yeah.
Do you prefer small talk or genuine conversations? I'm doing far ends of the spectrum here.
Mm. Like asking with new people I meet or just generally.
Say yeah with new people you meet because new people you meet isn't just the person on the street asking you where the store is. New people you meet is you're in a situation, you're
What's
having to strike a conversation, right?
what characterizes a genuine conversation?
Probably anything that isn't small talk. Not what uni or you do go to, what country are you from, how many siblings do you have? I don't
Okay,
know.
well, I think I don't
Maybe
ever
not banter. Banter I think counts as small talk.
really. Okay, fair.
Unless I don't know, unless it just gets somewhere interesting where you're like, oh, I'm enjoying this conversation.
But that's still small. I feel like you can
Yeah.
enjoy a small talk conversation if you're charismatic enough.
Okay, are you?
I don't know. I can't say that myself. I
Do you
can't
have a
say yeah. I'm very
preference?
charismatic. I don't know. People have to tell you're charismatic. But I think just naturally lean more towards small talk with people that I don't know. Even with people that I do know, I think I rarely have like actual genuine conversations. Because you really think about it, when you're talking with people, how much of the time do you think is just like contextual things you're talking about, like school, homework, stuff like that? When you actually talk about like, yeah, but like deep, not deep, but like actual stuff that is in like in the context that you know that person.
Mm. I still think that talking about what maybe work they're doing is more interesting than finding out why what they study. I don't know.
Mm.
Maybe like one-liners or small talk. I don't know. Okay, next question. Do you prefer like group interactions or bias?
It
Meeting new
depends.
people.
Meeting new people, like as a guy, when I'm meeting new people, it's normally just in like a group of guys, and then it's easier to like
There's like
sound
one new person and then or
no, no.
the
Okay, if
range.
I'm the new person,
Yeah.
I like it being in group. Also, when they're like some new, some like you guys know each other, we know each other, and like we made us. That's still like better, like as a group, just like everyone's making jokes, banks off each other. That's just how guys are. I feel like one to one as just like two guys, it's like a little. Mm, I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but I do prefer group situations, meeting a bunch of guys. You know
Hmm. How do you think your first impressions are?
how people view me on first. Mm,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't even know. I feel like I not code switch, but like something like that with depending on the
Yeah.
profile of the person
That's
that
very natural.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I am assuming a lot of things to code switch, but um non-threatening. I don't know.
Okay, do you remember like my your first impression of me?
I don't remember meeting you. I never remember things like these.
Okay, think about it.
Do you remember?
Yes,
Oh,
but
you've told
maybe
me
not
this
necessarily.
before.
Yeah, but not necessarily the first impression, because the first impression was very different. It was a
What
lot
was
based on your overall impression. You know, the fact
mhm,
that you said you traveled the world and your
that I don't
hobbies
like cookies?
and yeah.
Oh, this idiot, bro. Just pick one.
But I remember the first impression after starting to work with you.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't know that.
Um, Not positive.
Yeah. What was it?
We were so okay. For some reason, we were in the same group project
Mm-hmm.
from the get-go. And then after that, like three more projects or
Yeah.
something. In the first one, we were butting heads a lot, I
The
remember.
first one, like with the first one, like
Like the
before the
first two
semester started,
weeks,
like
yeah.
the medical
What do they
profile.
call it? Yeah. That's the project we worked on.
Uh-huh.
What do they call the first 2 weeks? Like it wasn't a boot camp,
Deprogramming.
deprogramming camp, yes.
Um,
Um I just remember we were butting heads a lot. And I'm pretty
but
sure you didn't like me
I
either.
don't. I honestly don't even remember.
I am pretty sure because I had spoken to a mutual classmate in small talk and she asked how things are going. Um and I, hinted at the fact that oh we're clashing
Mm.
and she gave me a look and she was like, "Oh yeah, he sort of said the same thing."
Oh.
I was like, "Oh good, I'm glad it's mutual."
Okay. Honestly, I don't remember this interaction. But okay, but that's like in a group in a school setting, I guess. First day we're meeting, we're working on a project, yeah. There's
Mm.
gonna be some tension. Um, but I think generally, I think I'd like to think that I come across as friendly most of the time. I think
You think you're
sometimes
approachable?
I would like to think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, sure, but I don't, maybe I don't know. Do you when you look at yourself in the mirror, do you think I'm an approachable person?
Okay, but I'm not thinking about just like straight up bullet because I feel like a lot of time I'm already talking to somebody when
It's
that
not a barrier you have to encounter as
yeah.
often.
So then it's like I don't know, they hear my conversation like, damn, okay, he's a cool guy. I don't know. I don't know, this is awkward.
Do you ever resort to being a bit of like a people pleaser when meeting new people? Like, do you? This is very, very normal, and I definitely do it. But it's like dumbing down your ideas, opinions, or just trying to keep talking about things that are relatable or anything like that.
Is that people pleasing or is that just like
I feel like it is.
general social skills? Like you're kind of taught socially to like not. give your strongest opinions off of the first interaction with someone.
Yeah, that's
I don't think that's people
like
pleasing.
social convention. That's fair. Mm.
But I mean, if I don't agree with something someone says, I'm not gonna say it out to their face. 'Cause that's just awkward. I'll just be like, oh, okay, cool, and then like move on. But then I'll keep that in the back of my head, you know. But do you know what is so weird, awkward when you talk to someone new, when you don't hear them say something, and because you have one of two things, either like ask them to say it again, or you just say like, huh, yeah. Then just hope that it was like a statement and not a question. Otherwise, it's so awkward because you're waiting for you to respond and like, um. But yeah, because that happened to me once or twice.
Just once or twice, I feel like it happens to me every other
At
week.
least that I can remember. Because also like in Europe, I feel like some people's accents are very strong and it's
Yeah.
hard to pick up on. So I'm like, oh yeah.
How do you feel when you're on the other side of that, though?
When like my accent is really strong.
No, when you're the one that's posing the question and they either don't hear you or just go, yeah.
Honestly, I just try to move on.
Oh, so you also feel the awkwardness?
Yeah.
Are you ever worried or nervous about meeting new people?
To be honest, I don't think I like have like any strong emotion.
You recently went to Germany to a party with a bunch of people that you don't know.
Yeah.
You were a little bit nervous about that, weren't you?
On my way there, I was like, yeah, what am I doing? I don't. These are all like. I was just imagining the most German of German setting. But yeah, on my way there. But I feel like once I get in that situation, like it just immediately goes away. I feel like that's with me in a lot of situations
Mm.
where like everything builds up before and then just vanishes immediately the moment that it starts. But yeah, because I went there like it was social, stuck to my guns, and um,
I have attended two of your soccer games, both
mhm,
of which, when I walked in, essentially, I wouldn't have known any of the people around me.
mhm,
Um, Definitely was nervous,
mhm,
I think, especially since it's a setting where everyone there is like hyped up athletes, right? And
mhm,
you're all there for with a purpose.
mhm.
I'm a spectator, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Yeah, and I grew up with a brother who, yes, who I've tried engaging in small talk at dire moments, such as him watching the Liverpool game and him getting really annoyed at me,
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah, yeah.
stuff like that. So those are my recent experiences.
But in the first one, there were other people spectating, right? Did you talk to them or no?
Oh, I did. There were like these other girls I remember that sat down next to me, and I think they struck up conversation.
So you think you're more of like the passive one when you meet new people, or just in that context, you're
Depending on the situation. If I'm, yeah, but I mean, in that situation, I did not know anyone, and okay, in a bit of a harsh way, calculating my future interactions with these people, I assumed that I likely would never see them again. So I wasn't necessarily like imagining that they would be my new best friends, and
so you don't
I
believe of
just
that
struck up
the whole
conversation.
thing you brought up earlier about the next person you meet could be your closest.
I do, but I also am not the biggest fan of like small talk. That's sort of a give or take. Yeah, I might engage in it, or I won't. And in that situation, I was like, yeah, I just won't be the first person. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about meeting new people online?
Whoa. I am unfortunately someone that falls with the stigma that it's a little bit weird. Like I think in my mind, um, it doesn't come as naturally to me as just meeting someone in person.
Uh huh.
I think I would rather probably approach a stranger on the street than
Mm. I feel like in both
approach
situations
that.
there's small talk. I think maybe
Yeah.
even more small talk in meeting people online than
Mm.
in person. Just a lot of you see reviews about like dating apps, whenever it's like, yeah, you start a small talk with like 10 different people, and then a week later it all disappears, and then a new batch of 10 people come in.
That's fine, but in my mind, there's always such a gap between asking, "Hey, how are you?" and then immediately trying to come up with a question like,
Mm.
"Hey, what TV shows do you watch?"
Oh yeah,
or something like that, right?
I've done that in
Like
person.
I feel
Not
like
very
really,
honest.
yeah, maybe I don't know. I think I have a better grip of the situation when it's in person, through body language, facial
Mm.
expressions, whatever my
Yeah. Okay.
judgment of them by looking
Fair.
at them and stuff like that. What about you?
Um. So I haven't had an online interaction of meeting someone before, but in person I feel like, oh man, I've had like good experiences and bad experiences. Because I feel like with online, if like you talk about TV shows and you notice that you like what you're saying and what they're saying in terms of TV shows that they like don't match at all, it's like okay, you can just ghost. But then that happens to person like, oh, okay, I guess I'll try to watch it, but you know you're never gonna watch it, and then you kind of try to move on the conversation because you're hoping that when you both say something that you both like, you can talk about that for
Yeah,
a while so you can think of something
like
else
and
to
then you're
say.
fishing.
Yeah, but it's like you say Sherlock the series and I say Gumball.
Yeah.
You know, it's so different. It's like, okay, well, what do we talk about now? And
Oh,
I've been in
I
that
get
situation where
that.
it's like, yeah, I've had to like be quick on my feet, but I'm not also the biggest advocate for online. I feel like just the whole industry is kind of unethical because it's monetizing phone games.
Mm,
You know, like
yeah.
like how do you have to pay to see people who like you? I just don't think that's fair or like yeah moral. And then the whole thing about them like it's an app for you to stay on, right? Their whole thing is to keep you on the app. So yeah, of course there's gonna be like
Mm.
you're gonna see all these nice people, but you're never gonna see if they like you unless they match you back, or you're gonna have to send like a super rose or a super flower to have a higher chance of being seen. Whenever it's all just gamifying like social interaction, which I don't think is a good thing at all.
I think it serves well for people who are uh probably desperate, but more importantly, very much in need of at least talking to one person, and they just absolutely cannot do it uh
Mm-hmm.
face to face. So then they resort to that because that at least does right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, about the thing being like ghosting people in person, it happened to me once recently.
Yeah.
Oh, I was in the laundry room of my building, and there was these two other girls, and yeah, we were clearly all waiting, and we would have waited a while, so we struck up conversation about like waiting time and whatnot, and then tried to talk about other things we had in common, and it became very, very apparent very quickly that the three of us had absolutely nothing in common. You can tell by like the way we dressed and the way we just appeared, right? One girl was entirely decked out with makeup and everything. Another one was wearing
The laundry room.
full like branded sports gear, so
Mm-hmm.
like Adidas, whatever, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then I'm there in sweatpants and a hoodie. Oh, and we really try to bond, I think, but like the countries we're from have conflict with each other as well, and oh my god, it was so bad. I think we all realized that we just had nothing in common, so we gave up. I didn't even think we asked for each other's names,
Oh,
and we just stopped talking.
ouch.
But
Just another one. Like when someone says a difficult name, I hate. It's gotta be like, yo, what is it? Say it again. I hate when someone has a hard name, like Caleb. So easy to say, so easy to pronounce. But like, oh man, that's just a little pet peeve. It's not honestly not their fault, but it's just like difficult.
you good at remembering names?
No.
Me
I'm
neither.
trying to. But the thing is, a lot of the things that would like teach you how to remember names is that you say it, bring it up often in conversation. But like, it seems so unnatural when you say the person's name at the end of every sentence, or like every other sentence that you say. Sabrina, it's like weird. You're trying to
Yeah.
tell yourself to remember their names, but it just comes across as like they're doing too much.
Can you see that on books where they recommend doing that because it promotes like bonding and
Yeah.
social lubrication or whatnot?
I haven't seen that on books, but I don't think
Really?
yeah no.
Yeah, they're like to make it more genuine. You should say their name more.
Yeah, it
The
just never
conversation does
comes
not come
across
across
that
natural.
way at all. But then it's
Yeah.
awkward at the end. It's like, oh, by the way, what's your name again? And it's like, I already told you my name like 5 times. But I have some Reddit threads that I want to bring up.
Also, before we move on, I think maybe we as a society should normalize these awkward things because, through talking with you, I realized that we do experience the awkwardness on the other side. I thought it might
Yeah,
have been one of those, like, oh no, it's
this is one
completely
way.
fine.
Yeah, no.
But yeah,
Most people, but I feel like we just it's kind of normalized us in the fact that it's like an unwritten convention
yeah,
of like yeah awkwardness and stuff.
it is fine, but it's awkward. It's acknowledged that it's awkward. Okay, what's your Reddit threads?
Um, one of them. Let's go. So this is from a woman's perspective on r/dating advice. Do people ever meet in real life anymore? Seems like everyone meets through Tinder or Bumble now. I've tried both and have a fair amount of dates, but going through all the same conversations is getting tiring. I think back to when I had a huge crush in high school and how I got the butterflies. Does that happen anymore? Do people still meet others in real life and actually have things happen? And then someone goes, most people I know who recently met in person, met at school, work, or through a friend. I feel like that's how a lot of people meet up these days. And then this person goes, I don't think people are getting picked up at the grocery store or anything. And he says, it's funny, my female friends say I should talk to women at grocery stores, but then Reddit tells me a permanent creep if I walk up to someone in public. I feel like that's another thing with the internet is where, like, in real life, as in, like, you get advice in real life for doing certain stuff because it's real life, but then you see, like, online is something else, right? But then people go with the online advice, so then there's a lot more hesitation in real life and just stuff never happens.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Oh, it just immediately brought to mind how how much of a problem this actually does become later on. You know, I've really heard so many stories of people genuinely just unable to meet new people as time passes because you're not in school anymore and
Yeah.
you're not in uni, and probably over time your ability to do that or to put yourself out there becomes harder and harder.
And if people online are telling you that it's weird to go up to someone in public, like they're all like, what do they know? But then
Yeah.
because it's just so easily there and so repeated online, it's like, yeah, well, social interaction is never gonna happen like genuinely if everyone's gonna think, oh, creepy, pervert, whatever, just for saying hi
Yeah.
to somebody.
And also, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because everyone that's older just has two goals, either to have a partner for the rest of their life or constantly look for like the next partner, right? Other than the people that are genuinely happy alone. And then it almost makes it seem like every interaction they're evaluating whether this person could possibly be the person that gives you butterflies, right? Or are they happy in a relationship? Which makes it a lot more difficult because this whole idea of just meeting new people, just not being in isolation and essentially just talking and possibly becoming friends becomes further and further out of the picture.
Do you think you can meet people in every situation, or is some situations just best not to strike up a conversation?
I think you can, but maybe just you have to not have any other intention.
Other than making friends?
Just maybe just meeting new people
Okay,
and
I'm gonna give context, and you say that if it's okay to strike up a conversation,
yeah.
there, gym,
Yeah, that's fine.
um, sauna in the gym.
Oh, um, depends how comfortable you are, but I think it's fine.
Bar.
Yeah, that's wait, what to meet new people?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great place,
Um,
probably.
I ran out.
It's probably the best place.
At a bar.
Yeah.
Uh,
What about in a park?
in a park. Things people, no one goes to the park like on their own.
Yeah, no one goes for like no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, unless like either they're walking their dog or they're reading a book, and then
Yeah.
it's like I'm not going up to someone
Yeah.
reading a book in the park, or they're with friends and it's like, yeah, too many people to go say hi to. That's another thing. I feel like going up to people, like when they're, it's so much easier when they're alone than if they're in a group. As in you going up to somebody.
But you know what? Just this just makes clear that pretty much smoking and alcohol is what is really going to bond people together, because a bar is a situation where there's
Oh
drinks,
yeah.
right? And then I think the second best place is probably if you and another person happen to both need to share a cigarette, or not share a cigarette,
Yeah,
smoke a
smoke.
cigarette.
Yeah.
That's a good place because you know your minds are at ease.
That's how a lot of people became friends. I think at the beginning of our first year here, and I didn't have any of those. So like, yeah, it was. But I feel like I still met people. I feel like cause yeah, like there are other places. I feel like if you look online, just here tell you book clubs, this, that, yoga, whatever. And there's this new trend on TikTok where everyone's joining a run club to like meet people and stuff like that. I
That's a
mean,
good idea.
they
That's very
ruined it because
healthy.
now like you actually look at run club and it's like just a bunch of people signing up because they saw it on TikTok or whatever.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
But I think if
The
that's the
idea of
alternative,
it, yeah, the
yeah,
idea of it, yeah, like you
it's
can
very
meet
fun.
people like in clubs of things that you find interesting.
Because that's the idea of the third place, right? To find something
Yeah.
to bond over. I think that's a great idea. If you're actually stuck, then don't go to a bar. Just sign up for classes.
Mm.
because
Yeah, and
there
then
it
you're like
creates a shared
bettering
goal.
yourself
Yeah,
also.
I actually thought about that this summer. I was thinking of signing up
Jo-
for fun classes, not just yeah.
Such as
I thought about Pilates because that's been blowing up, and I'm not entirely sure what it is.
I heard it's very difficult. That's all I know about it.
Yeah, me too.
Good luck.
But it could be fun. But yeah, it's like I don't meet people at my gym. You seem to have a different case.
I've met people through like the gym. As in, like we go to the same gym, but I didn't meet them at the gym. Either I met them like
Mm.
in my building and I saw like their trainer tag, and then I was like, "Oh, you go train?"
You
And then
made
we
your
go.
friends actually.
Well, my friends. Okay, well, I have
Technically.
the things. I have like friends in my building,
How?
friends from football, and then friends from uni. From uni, I don't think I need to go into that. It's just
At some point, you strike up conversation during the lunchtime or something.
yeah.
Okay. What about from this building?
From this building
I
is
don't have
really
building friends.
you've never had building friends.
No.
Damn.
Wow.
Okay, well here, okay, so here it's easy because we share a kitchen. So I would just like if we're in the kitchen and like one time I saw like two guys watching football on the big TV in the kitchen. I was like, oh, like what's the score? And then we started talking there. One guy literally, because I was just new here, I was like, oh, I forgot to buy oil. Like, 'cause I just got here and I got everything else from the grocery store except oil. So I asked for oil. And then, like, we had this whole conversation and we talked about, like, just small talk. And then we went to, like,
Maybe you are friendly and approachable.
I am. I'm telling you, I am. And then, but in my last building, in the first 2 weeks, there was this, like, thing where at night people just go to the terrace. So I just went to the terrace, like, introduce. And the thing is, it's so
Oh,
easy
wow,
when
you're
everyone
really
is new.
out there.
Yeah, everyone is new, so you just go to terrace, like say hi or whatever, and like I've made friends there. And the football is just through context. Where else do I have friends?
Do you think being desperate shows?
Yes,
Do you think it comes off in a bad way?
yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I've noticed someone be desperate to be friendly, if
But
that
do you
makes
think
sense.
that it'll still work out, even though
I
maybe
mean,
just
I
something
just
shit?
took it like the wrong way. I was like, yeah, no, that's kind of weird. So I don't think it will work out based off I wasn't willing to hear them out because I could like kind of see them desperate to make friends. I mean, it's sad, but it's like I don't know what to tell you, man. What about you? Do you think have you ever been desperate to make friends?
Probably, but I think I keep it to myself a lot in the
Okay.
sense that I still will not go out to a bar
Oh,
on my
okay.
own or anything like that. Oh, this is completely off topic. We can cut it out. But I went on my first. I ate a meal by myself for the first time at a restaurant.
How'd it go?
It was absolutely fine because
Yeah.
by now, I've done a lot of things just
Uh-huh.
alone. But I realized in that moment, I was like, oh, my first
Yeah.
actual me date. Other
My-
people definitely were staring.
yeah, you learn to. I don't think I've eaten not. Oh, I have. But it wasn't like a restaurant. It was like McDonald's, like Burger King stuff. So like normal.
Okay. Do you think people are still meeting new people from the Reddit thread?
Do I think people are still meeting? Oh, um, I think it's a lot less common.
I feel like it really just gets smaller and smaller as time passes. That
No.
you're just depending on your friends to meet new friends.
Oh
And
yeah, for sure. I feel like
yeah,
maybe it's definitely been like that like for a long time. I don't think it's a new thing of meeting friends through friends, but I think that's just taking up more of the way people meet friends. But then if you're meeting your friends through your friends, how are your friends meeting friends? You know?
do you know that this is a friendship paradox? That on average, your friends have more friends than you do. Isn't that cool? Because people with more friends are more likely to be your friends, and that's what skews the average.
Out of us, dude,
You.
has more friends? I never knew about that, but
Do you think they should make friendship dating apps then? Well, not dating, but like
no.
I thought that's what Bumble was.
Capitalism.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a little more
Isn't Bumble still a dating
harmless.
thing?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure there are friends one out there. Um, because it seems a little more harmless than trying to seek a partner and monetizing off of that, right? I don't know. I suppose all social media was actually designed to
Make friends, yeah.
be
Every
like,
I feel like every
yeah,
social media is a
but
dating
really
app if you
just
think about it.
does not work out that
Yeah.
way. Yeah,
Instagram
they
is
all
pretty
have
much a
like
dating app.
group call options and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
think its initial intention was probably for you to make friends. It's probably what Facebook was. Facebook was probably
Yeah,
more
yeah.
successful in that, right?
Yeah, but
Have more
yeah.
Facebook friends, and then your friends. That's cute because I also called it a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could maybe do more
Yeah.
of
But
that.
Facebook kind of just died out and everything else doesn't seem like the same. Because Instagram brands off followers, so now it's like
Yeah, it's
either a clout thing or a.
that's crazy. The face of social media has changed entirely.
Yup. Just
It's not so
naturally.
social anymore.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. I have nothing else to talk about.
I have some fun facts. You want to hear it?
Yep.
So, our brains are wired to connect with others on a fundamental level through brainwave synchronization. So, we're all, when you're interacting with someone, at one point your brain will sync.
So literally on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Oh, that maybe that's.
So it's like you're just wired to connect and want to connect with people.
Okay.
There's the chameleon effect where people tend to subconsciously mimic the behaviors, mannerisms, and speech patterns of those they interact with.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that. I feel like a lot of people like either with their partner start doing the same things as them, or like even with friends. Because I feel like somebody started saying like no at the end of every sentence, and now everybody does it. I think it was me, but I'm not sure.
You've definitely started some things that I've heard from other people. We used to laugh at our mutual friend for copying us, remember? At one point.
I don't remember.
But yeah, it's to make yourself um more likable and create social bonds. So mirror neurons
I
activate.
change my accent sometimes, depending
Mirror neurons.
depending on the person. I started doing that from like a very young age though, where like when I'm speaking with someone who's not that good at English, I like speak a little bit more broken. I don't know why I did it, but like it just kind of continued. Now it's less like pronounced, but before I used to. Oh man.
Because I inherently sound a little bit British according to other people. When I speak to British people more, it definitely comes out more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But embarrassing. Laughter promotes bonding.
Oh yeah, that's why everyone
That's
tries to make
nice.
jokes. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
I
that.
have a question before we continue.
Uh-huh.
When you're making friends, so not like a partner,
Yeah.
does physical attraction play a role?
Absolutely. Oh my god.
Okay.
Because that's what forms part of the overall impression and part of like probably what makes you a little more approachable.
So you don't have
And
ugly friends in your eyes.
if you are making new ones, then definitely. But not attractive, not in just the sense of like romantic attraction, you know.
Yeah,
It could
that's
be
what I'm saying.
like
Like outside of
cute
romantic attraction,
and
just like
dorky.
they
Yeah.
they need to like look good to you to be your friend. Like
Well, yeah, they have to probably they usually look in some way appealing to me, and that's why I'll come up to them and
Yeah.
probably throw them a compliment, be like, "Hey, I love your glasses." Hugging and other forms of physical touch releases oxytocin and reduces stress levels
I don't do
and lowers
that.
blood pressure. Yeah, you don't do that. I do that.
I feel like I'm just very
Yeah.
selective with that.
Because social touch can convey emotions and intentions more effectively than words. But you just don't do that.
No.
This one I found the most interesting. Memory recall. When we share an experience with someone, it often becomes more memorable due to the emotional and social reinforcement involved.
I haven't
So I
remembered
like-
any of the things you brought up.
Yeah, but it's the fact that we might remember this podcast.
Oh yeah,
more
okay, yeah, I
because
get what
if I
you
did
mean.
it
Yeah,
over,
yeah.
I forget it easily. Yeah.
Fair.
The last thing I want to bring up is you brought up social experiments right at the beginning. I think they're fun to do and like interesting endeavors that people should take on
I think
board.
you need to be very, very socially strong to be able to carry out a social experiment.
Yeah, but what if it's just like standing in the middle of a busy park and giving compliments to everyone you meet?
Yeah, you need to be very socially strong
Or
to be able
just
to do that.
you just need to be strong enough to get yourself out there, and then you can start and get.
I would hate myself after every word that came out of my mouth. Also, for me, that would just look like catcalling.
Yeah, okay, it's a little bit different for a guy. Yeah, but I learned from a friend to start giving people more compliments and just random people, and for a while I think that really helps build up my ability to interact with strangers.
Give out compliments now.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
because it's quite easy here.
Yeah, again for me that would look so different.
But you can say stuff like, "Hey, I love your bike.
Yep.
Nice bike."
Nope.
Okay.
That literally would not work. They will tell
Because
me
people
to
think
fuck
you're
off.
hating on them.
Yeah, we just live in different worlds.
What else? What are the other ones that I saw? Oh, there were cute ones like make up a handshake and teach everyone around you the handshake. I mean, there's a bunch of these little tricks.
I don't think that. I feel like I've made handshake with like I think I've made two handshakes ever.
Do you remember them?
One was with an ex partner and one was with like a friend. We are just because I would say like here he's been like my closest friend. He's not here anymore, but like at that time we're just doing like silly guy stuff. I probably like it's muscle memory. If I started, I'll probably remember the rest of it. But yeah, making handshakes. I don't think I'm gonna make handshakes with everyone. No.
That is all I have.
Okay.
So Caleb, how many siblings do you have?
3. What about you? Oh, I have 2 siblings. I have 2 siblings. You just have one. Oh,
There, small
see?
talk and
That's
laughter.
yeah. Check, check, and that's how you make friends. Okay.